お願いします。はい。 Yes. Now this is YouTube stream, public to the world. Nobody understands what we're doing there just by this action. But those who know this practice, of course, understand already. So, of course, I'm not pushing with my hand. I'm connecting inside, as we always practice. And just get behind this point to infect the balance. Sushi. Hi, try this warming up. Hi. That's all. Mhm. Mhm. Nicht dahin. Hi. Okay. I think it's better to clear this. Okay. Just check this again. Now, Alfonso Onegashimasu. Yeah. Maybe it would be even better if you sit left and right from this video corridor, because then it's more balanced, the whole picture. Okay, so if we prepare this kind of relation and practice and realignment with your own body and center and leg work, we always start like this. Of course, I cannot push the partner down. If you hold your hands, it's for sure as soon as I put pressure, actually I take my off balance. If you let go suddenly, I, I'm lost. So my arms just rest on his palms. My hands rest here. So if you take it away, suddenly they just drop, but not my balance lost. As soon as I put some tension to my arms, it will not affect Alphonse, but me. Okay, so the basic setup is I don't work on him, but only on myself. Now, the routine in this kind of practice is I change the let's say, function of my legs. It's not just supportive still, but flexible to move everywhere immediately. Then, of course, we take down the diaphragm, hold the center, or expand the center. So a good measurement is your belt. If you can feel like you're pushing to all directions around your obi. And you realign your shoulders so that the collarbone comes down and backwards, and the shoulder blade rotate outward and back downwards around the rib cage. By that reason, my both arms fall towards my axis. If you just take away your hand suddenly, it's still no pressure. It's just resting. Now, of course, in these conditions, with this specific prelude for this kind of feeling for body awareness, we have stance who are not aikido-like. That's why the direction of the outcome, the kuzushi, is either there or here. Sometimes we feel if the partner tries to hold back to collapse to the front, it's like extending to his behind. And if he wants to collect himself and stabilize again, of course, then it falls, he loses balance to the front. Now, in Hanmi, like for instance, I-Hanmi position, doesn't matter, I-Hanmi. Of course, these directions are the stable directions and cross to that. But my arm doesn't do anything to him. It's my center activity and the knowledge that out there, or opposite, out there, he's unstable. But it's not the arm trying to arrange that. It's just center and body what provides this kind of direction. So you don't use your hand, you just use your whole body to get behind the connection point or opposite side behind there. So if you would let go your hand suddenly, let go suddenly, my hand's still. It's not pushing or pulling to some direction. So if you would feel this and you let go suddenly, it's me pushing. No, it's my center behind this point. There's a term, aikiage, used by some teachers to explain what's going on, but it's the structure of your whole body, as you know from this feeling of the practice is what we do a lot. What's the same to apply? So try again from Hanmi position. If you're too much front, it's not good. If you're too much sideways, it's not good. It's half body position. And then you put attention to all your body and activity, to leg work, to center, so you can take the partner's balance. Okay? Try again. Hey. So stand again like this, just like this. And I come from outside to connection. Of course, if I would just go away, it's not the same. It's like coming into connection and then use this connection to also close in. Other side. And you can also change. It's not the task to throw the partner, create the kuzushi to nagare, but at least to influence balance and step work. Okay? Let's try. To say some more words. The basic principles or the basic routines, what is including what's included in this kind of understanding is with Endo Sensei's practices. He shows two different forms what are, let's say, connected or combined. So if you hold a strong position, keep it very strong to your body. So if I try to move you down. You can easily hold this, right? But there's a movement. So if I tell you, don't move, don't move at all, it's impossible. If I send something like some connection, there's a counter reaction on that. It's impossible for your body to keep like a statue made of marble or whatever. But this is possible to use if we are exactly finding the moment where this movement starts, because then the body gets very, let's say, weak or unstable. It's in the sense, it always says like I send some key, and then I take what's coming. The other practice is if you push. So if there's a connection towards me and you keep this connection and I rotate, for instance, the shoulder or my axis, it moves you because this energy, what comes to me, creates kind of a stable, supportive system, what affects your whole body. Now, in this particular movement, what we're practicing now, it's very, very fine. It's not very strong. It can be very strong. But especially in this situation, I honey first, of course, I don't want to push you away, but I send, let's say, attention to the connection point, so and activate my whole body. It's not my arm trying to make you move because that would only reach out into your arm, but it's my knees and my center coming behind so that you feel if you're not there, if you're not holding this position on your side, if you just collapse, for instance, I would be immediately connected to forward movement. There's no coming late. It's immediate in. Now, the same for you. If you put your body behind with all this attention and I collapse, you would be immediately in. Now, this was more your arm than you would take all your body in. So your knees and your center is also already immediately in if I let go. So this kind of meeting, that's sometimes called atari, and the sensei calls it atari. So it's like meeting somebody for real, not just superficial, not just surface connection. You know, it's this kind of term even used in the computer industry at that time. Atari, when they made this console, gaming console, it was meant like this, real meeting. Of course, it was virtual meeting in that case, but it's like that. You feel the difference if you, for instance, shake hands and you're not there, or if you say, "Hey, how are you?" This is a different kind of meeting, right? So this kind of quality is in the connection. We're really there, and all the body moves. I move not your body. I don't try to move you, no, because how could I with this? I move myself. And I just realize in which direction your support of your legs is not stable. Of course, we know it's cross to your stance. So just make this atari, this meeting clear first, and then think about in which direction you can lead or guide the partner to kuzushi, into kuzushi. Okay? Try again. Experiment. Yeah, it's. Well, I tell you later why we do that, but now you do. Okay, you put yourself into the same position like before, like in handi, with one arm reaching out. Yeah. So now I come here. Before we could argue, okay, it's something like gravity also working. But as you see in this position, we just, it's like, how do you say, a contract. You know, I cannot just go forward because if I just want to go forward, you slightly raise your hand and rise. And I'm going, I'm open as well as you. If you want to go forward, no, towards here. I'm also there. So, but my connection is now not from top or from side, but from below. But still, depending on how I put my body behind this connection, you feel something happening. It's not that I move this point, but I move behind this point. So you have you feel the reason like, oh, going downwards, outward, or whatever, because you need to close your position towards me. Yeah, if you would try to go in, of course, it's like a gift. I actually want to come to this experience, this moment. So it has all. It could be I move. It could be I move more. I move more. Sorry, I couldn't. It could be like I make something open where you have to refer to. Otherwise, you're, let's say, you will be open to some point. So maybe I could do Kuzushi or whatever, Chudansky or Atemi. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, it's a kind of experimental workout. Don't kill your training partner by kicking him, please. Yes, try from underneath. On the seminar in Milan, uh, Francesco from Genoa asked me, could you please teach some Chudansky teaching? Because it's so rare that teachers on the weekend seminar do Chudansky. And that was the preparation for Chudansky because now it's all done. Yes, there's not more to teach. As, yeah, well, of course, in this kind of atmosphere or idea, what we were practicing also on the weekend, and what we share, especially in our classes here with Kimosubi dojos, it's not so much about kata no keiko, as you know. So a form-based training where we say like you have to do step one and then follow step two, three, whatever to finish the technique. No, but it's more about the relation and the understanding of the principles. So now for Chudansky, I remember when I was taught the first time, it was like, okay, you attack somehow Chudansky, I don't know, left or right. I have to block, then I have to regrasp and apply Kotegaishi or whatever form. But as always, within the last couple of years, we developed the understanding that this form-based training just leads into repetition of form, but maybe doesn't help to understand how they work or what's the principle, the functional principle. Now, in this practice is what we did before. We created this kind of understanding. How is it if I just get in touch to this point and put my body behind the connection so that I can influence the partner's balance? And we practiced this position, even this position. Now, Chudansky, that happens. And we did it from Aihami position as well as from Yakohami. Now, if you attack and I take this kind of connection, I influence his balance immediately. So I just have to, let's say, learn to adjust to the timing and then apply what we already know. So from there, if I influence your balance, of course, you can create all the forms what comes to your mind. So in this case, Chudansky is not so problematic. Usually we had learned that, let's say, as more experienced, more advanced students when we started to learn, because everybody was afraid, what if I got hit? So of course it's maybe some issue, but if you think about Shomenochi practice, Shomenochi, we do the same kind of basic routines. We check how should be the timing to reach out the partner, bring the body behind the connection point and influence the balance of uke as soon as possible from the get-go, from the first moment of touch. That's the same with the Chudansky. Because then you actually solve the problem. Even if you want to take away your Chudansky and don't stay in connection, it's possible to follow through because the potential of the arms is still, as always described, they are soft and easy to move. No, it's not a defense. It's kind of a finding connection and use. Okay, let's try Chudanski. So you remember the credo for the last couple of years was please priority number one is the balance of the partner. You have to take care first for the balance of the partner, correct? Remember? Well, I said that. Maybe you don't know because you're just 1.5 years here. Maybe it has already changed. But it was a credo for some years. That's priority number one. It's wrong. Priority number one is yourself because you can't take care for the partner if you don't know about yourself. It's right. Now, what does it mean? The actual problem is not only the causality of the partner, because if you can create a causality, fine. But if you don't know how, there's no solution. Now, how to do that is the problem within us. Because if you try to effect something on your partner, you actually do exactly the opposite of what we have studied today or within the last couple of years. You try to do something on him. Now, remember, all our practices started from kind of this position, or this position, or this position, or this position. And we have had already this kind of understanding for distance. It was not from this position or this position. Okay? So please recognize when do you touch or create connection to your partner? And how's your distance? Because if you wait and try to do something here, it's very difficult because you actually come into the reach of his hand. And if you're missing then the effect of going against the partner, of course you'll be hit. But if you can keep this relation or distance, it's better. So you remember in Shomenuchi, it's more easy to create a good connection. You remember system in Shomenuchi is keeping the distance constant. For Chulansky, it's maybe same. That makes it easy. Of course, you could also reach out to the partner and by that find this connection earlier. But still, the distance is key. Okay? So the new credo is not the problem is the balance of the partner. The problem is ourselves. That's the new credo. Oh, okay, I'm just joking. Try again. Observe your position and how you hold yourself. はい。はい、終わります。ありがとうございました。